Hey, Warrior, and thank you so much for tuning in to webinar number 4 for the summer session of the Warriors of Wealth program. I'm so happy when Goddesses and Adoni discover the prosperity and power that this business holds for them. New community member Felicity Merrill from Massachusetts, she joined Athena's back in February, and she recently shared this, and I quote, "I get paid bi-weekly and live paycheck to paycheck. And most of the time, when emergencies come up, I am taking out payday loans or using my overdraft protection and writing checks that I can't afford, then paying a fee for each one. I woke up this morning, my bank was negative $315 from 3 bills that had to be paid. But guess what? I got my Athena's commission, and not only did it cover the $315, but I still have $180 left. And I get paid on Friday with a full check and no loans coming out. Because I made $500 this month from working 4 parties, I can't even imagine making so much doing something so easy. I have 6 parties next month and 4 in August. I was worried about taking time away from my family, but now I'm excited. This extra $200 is putting new brakes and rotors in my car this week. Because of this opportunity, I'll be able to save money and plan a tropical vacation someday." End quote. Kudos to you, Felicity, for making this happen in your life. Athena's is just a vehicle. You are the driver. And I hope that this is just the beginning of the potential, just the beginning of what you'll be able to have and afford through your parties. And I'd also like to congratulate Lauren Goyette, who is Felicity's recruiter. Lauren offered the opportunity, and it has obviously changed Felicity's finances for the better, and so quickly. And that's amazing. And congratulations to you, Lauren. Your recruits are activating, like all of them, and quickly. It just goes to show that you're doing a great job inspiring others. So way to go, Lauren Goyette. You know, I know I've said it before, but this business is a gift. We have so many examples of the positive effect that Athena's has on the lives of our Goddesses and Adoni. You can keep your bills in check, you can start a savings, you can afford those, unexpected expenses like, needing new tires or when your washing machine goes. And you can also use this extra money to just have more fun. Lacey Harding and Amber Moody used their profits for something really meaningful recently. Lacey got a new dog for her family to love, and Amber got a potbelly pig. Potbelly pig. Can you believe that? How fun is that? Nicole Moneybags Martell, she had one person spend $512 this past weekend at a party. One person, $512. That's amazing. Megan Harper, another new goddess who joined us in February, she had her highest party ever at $800. Congratulations, Megan. Belinda Brides, she had an $850 party with just 5 guests. Way to go, Belinda. I mean, that is an outstanding party average. That's $170 a person. What happened? Did they all buy womanizers? Stephanie Lupian, Danielle Potter, and Dawn O'Brien all had $1,000 parties since our last wild call. I am so happy for you ladies. That's excellent money, and I hope that it is used to make you happy. And finally, I want to congratulate Katie Gwynn from Rhode Island and Jackie Belandre from Oregon, who both participated in Gay Pride events this weekend. Thank you for representing Athena's and spreading the love and the good vibes. And now it's time for a fun and inspiring call from Michelle Archer. And, this is a great way for you to learn how to be a goddess or Adonis who puts on great parties, who connects with guests and hostesses. That's what this call is all about. And I'm going to keep my remarks short and sweet because we have an information and inspiration-packed call for you right now, warriors. So turn off your social media, grab your notebook, and open your heart and your mind to the new ideas that are presented here. You're going to hear code words throughout the call, so listen carefully. The code words will let us know that you were here and go towards your spoils of war, because I know you want that free toy come the September meeting. All right, your first code word is summer, S-U-M-M-E-R. Your first code word is summer. And here she is, Goddesses and Adoni, Michelle Archer.
Welcome back to boot camp number 4, Summer Parties That Sizzle. Before we get started on the mechanics of a sizzling summer party, I want to talk a little bit about attitude, maybe a little attitude check before we get started. This time of year, there is a very pervasive belief in our industry, and it's the topic of conversation a lot. That is how hard summer is, that nobody wants to book, that everybody's out of town, that nobody has any money to spend. And we love to get together with other consultants and reinforce this belief system for ourselves. And of course, that affects the outcome that we're able to achieve in the summer months. Summer is not impossible. It's different. We have to be flexible, it has to be a little more fun, and we have to approach it from a different standpoint. It's very, very important what goes on in your head, what you tell yourself about your business. No one is such a great actor or actress that it doesn't come across. In fact, 90% of the message we communicate to others is in our nonverbal cues. The lilt of our voice, the cadence of our speech, our body language, and our posturing. A very small percentage of that is actually the words that we use. Sometimes it's interesting, our words do give us away in the manner of a Freudian slip, but it's mostly in the body language. So when we're dragging around this belief system that summer's so impossible to book, that no one wants to host a home party during the summer months, that summer's lean, that we're not going to be able to recruit, that we're not going to be able to sell, we get exactly what we expect. Also, we get exactly what we expect because we're expecting the no. So we're poised for a no when we talk to someone about booking a home party this time of year. So when they give it to us, we say, okay, great, and move on. We don't solve for that yes answer. We don't take the conversation a different route. We don't offer different options for them that might work us around to a positive outcome. We just accept the no because we were prepared for the no. So this time of year, probably more than any other, so important to stay in a positive mindset, to stay focused on what you love, what you're excited about, to bring a little bit of fun and stay really mission focused. So I'm going to share some ideas. We've shared several throughout this series. I'm going to share a few more summer ideas with you today. The most important thing is that you pick a menu of offerings, if you will, of things that you're really excited about. Your enthusiasm sells other people. So it doesn't matter what someone else might think. It really matters more if you're excited about it or not. If you offer 2 or 3 different themes, one of those is going to resonate with your host or your hostess as well. But don't forget, it is your enthusiasm that is foundational to your success during the summer and really any other time of year. Let's start by taking a look at your party model itself. I want to be sure that you have put together a model that books, sells, and recruits for you, that aids you in pursuit of those things. So I have just 5 simple steps: setup, hospitality, product experience, share, and final wrap up. Let's take a peek at those. Here are those 5 steps that we talked about. Let's take a little deeper dive in each of these. Start with setup. I want to remind you to keep it simple, sisters, or keep it simple, silly. In your setup, and really in everything that you do, we want it to be duplicatable, and we don't want to waste time that we could be using to connect with our hostess perfecting and tweaking a display. We want to make sure that we're using this time not just to connect with our host and find out about them, but to set their role in the event that evening. We want to make sure that they are front and center talking about favorite products, encouraging people to book one of their own, instead of in the kitchen preparing food or stressing out about who's not there, things of that nature. So set their role. Let them know that they are your celebrity endorsement and you need their help for a great party that evening. Definitely planting seeds for sponsoring with that host as well. And just a last reminder to keep that setup super simple, creating that perfect display that is lightweight, easy to put together, and very inviting. Let's move on and look at the hospitality piece. This is incredibly important in creating rapport with your guest. People buy from people that they like, they book with people that they like, and they join people that they like. So again, when we've kept that display really nice and simple, we have time to greet guests as they are arriving. Greet everybody personally. Your host or hostess has set your storefront up in their home, so in effect, It's your home, so make sure that you're the one to greet people at the door as much as is humanly possible. You want to find out one thing about them. There'll be plenty of time to tell them about you. That might be, how do they know the host, or were they rushing in from work? Anything is of value down the road as you continue to build this relationship with people. When we learn to build rapport at the beginning, we need fewer icebreaker games and things of that nature. We also will find that our sales will increase, bookings will increase, and the recruiting conversations will increase too. Sales is at its very heart a relationship business, and we do well to remember that. Let's move on and take a look at the product experience, really why they're there. Now, I recommend that you serve food afterwards. So this is really the first thing that they're going to do at your home party. So think about that. You want something highly demonstrable? I would suggest something from your spa line, your bath and body line. Think about what's that wow product that everybody oohs and ahs over. That's the first experience you want them to have when it comes to product. Consider having them try something, experience a product as soon as they walk through the door. I call this a warm handshake product. I do recommend that we do catalogs at the very end, that we don't even put catalogs down on their lap board. It really isn't an experience to get dressed, pay for a sitter, drive across town, to sit on a living room couch, a lot like your living room couch, and flip through a catalog. So think about what are the products, maybe 3 products that are very, very experiential that you can start them off with almost from the time they walk in the door, or as soon as you have everyone assembled in the living room or the kitchen, wherever you're conducting the party. Everything that we do should be engineered to create desire for the product. I recommend that instead of showing 50 products, you pick your top 20 sellers, top 25 sellers, particularly if you're working on a theme. Try and remember that this is hopefully their first sale, not the only sale. We don't have to show them everything the first time. And sometimes when we're a little more of a novice in the sales process, we do believe that there's maybe one thing that they'll purchase. So if we don't show them everything, they won't see that one perfect thing. And I just want to tell you, hopefully maybe just remind you, they'll buy something out of that grouping. And the more product we show them, actually the harder it is to make a decision, which is another reason why I don't recommend that we start with catalogs. 1, it's not fun, it's kind of boring. And number 2, it's very, very overwhelming. So think about that. What are those sure sale products, the very mainstream that 80% of people are going to purchase? That's what I would put on my display. That's what I would work into my experience and my wow piece here of this product, are those things that are going to hit 80% of the demographic. Now let's talk about fun. And fun doesn't have to be zany, hilarity, dance party fun. Edutaining them is one of my favorite things. I think we've talked about that. We educate them, we teach them something in kind of a fun format. So throwing out some cool tips might be fun as well. So think about, how do we make it fun, edutaining, and ensure that they have a good time. And last, we want to make sure that it is engaging, which again is why I say hold catalogs to the very end. We're not even going to give them catalog until nearly the wrap up when we're finally done. So think about that. What's engaging? Make sure that they're trying products. Maybe passing products can be a little bit boring, but make sure that there is some engagement there. Once we hand catalogs out, all eyes are down on the catalog. They're not listening to us anymore. We lose our connection with them, and they're not paying attention to anything that we're saying either. So keep it fun and keep it engaging. And incidentally, I wouldn't spend more than about 30 minutes on this one piece, the step 3 of product experience. Again, we don't want to overwhelm them, and we don't want to lose them either. So about 30 minutes. They can spend more time shopping, playing, flipping through the catalog, trying things at the end when we're done with share. So let's move on and take a look at that share piece. This is really where you lay out the menu of offerings for people. I think sometimes we miss this. We get so focused on the selling and they're asking questions and everybody's laughing and having a good time. We forget to really run the party. We kind of let it run us. So this is the point at which we're going to lay out the options and ensure that we cover all of the bases with people. So sharing their options, of course, product, how they're going to order, what the specials are, if there's a purchase with purchase, all of those things are going to go here. don't shy away from telling them how to order. They know why they're there, right? They understand how a home party works. And sometimes we're really uncomfortable just to take the bull by the horns and cover how to buy product that evening, how to order, how long it will take to arrive, things of that nature. We also want to cover the hostess opportunity in some way, shape, or form. Totally up to you how you decide to do it. I'll have a few suggestions for you here in a minute, but you want to cover it. We don't ever look around that room and think that nobody looks like a booker, right? That's not our decision to make. Going back to that attitude piece we started with, if we expect that no one's a booker, no one's going to be a booker. And the most important thing that you leave there with is future business, guys. I'm here to tell you, I believe it's more important than the sales, is to leave there with future business. And finally, business opportunity. How often do we just skip it because we don't think anybody looks like they would want to sign up, or we don't want to bother anybody, or we don't want to be pushy, so we don't even tell them that that's on the menu for them this evening. Again, not our decision to make. Recruiting or sponsoring is not very different than selling. It's just an intangible product, which is why it's even more important that we tell them about it. They don't know unless we do. That can be as simple as iStory, business in a bag, 90 seconds long. It doesn't have to be a big, long, boring, drawn out thing where everybody feels pressured. You're just saying, hey, here's something that's not in the catalog this evening, or here's something we haven't talked about yet that I wanted to be sure you knew about before you left here, in case you might be looking for an opportunity or you know someone who might be looking. I'm happy to send you home with a little bit of information. That's it, no pressure, and then you move on. So don't skip it. Every party, every time, no matter what. All right, and finally, our wrap-up portion. This is where we kind of tie everything up in a nice package for them, transitioning from demonstration and sharing to actually taking orders and processing things. So you can use a transition statement. Guys, I've had so much fun. I hope y'all have too. I will be around to answer questions. If anybody needs to leave early, please let me know. I'll help you first. If you have any questions, be happy to help you, right? Just some kind of transition statement to let them know we're moving on. I would give them a few minutes after the transition statement, smile, look busy. Maybe you're tidying things up, not putting things away, tidying things up, and there's a difference. Waiting for the first person to ask the question. You want to approach a guest personally, individually, to answer any questions they may have. A good opener question is, what were you thinking about this evening? What was your favorite product? What questions did you have? Things of that nature to get the conversation going. I don't know if y'all are setting up in another room to process orders. You may be. For the sake of discretion, I would encourage you to stay in that main room as long as possible, because the crosstalk is invaluable, where people are talking about what's going on at work, their husband's job is downsizing, private school's so expensive, anything like that. You can just file it away in the data banks. It lets you know where to take the conversation with that particular guest. If they're talking about work or money, anything like that, it's a great time for you to say, would you like me to send you home with a little bit of information on the business? You never know who may say yes. And I think that's the biggest mistake we make in recruiting, is that prejudging, determining who is or who is not interested. Don't forget to offer every guest, as you check them out, 3 things. A party date? Why not, right? You can assume that the glass is half full, or you can assume that the glass is half empty. It's up to you. If you assume that the answer is yes, that this has been fun, that they've had a good time, that they'd want to host one of their own, then the question isn't, do you want to book? The question is, have you selected your party date yet? You may have to practice that a few times until your palms don't sweat and you don't get butterflies. But truly, if it makes you nervous to say, have you selected your date yet, then you assume the answer is no. Spend a little bit of time with that. Offer them the monthly specials, add-ons, upselling, complimentary products. You can really, really increase the sales through this step right here. But sometimes we don't want to be pushy, so we don't ask them if they'd like fries with that. And finally, consultant information. Did you want me to send you home with a little bit of information on the business opportunity? It's a simple question. Nobody's going to die if she says no or he says no. It's not a big deal. Don't make it a big deal. Just do your job. See if they'd like dessert. Always set a follow-up time when we have a hostess, when we have a business conversation, and we want to follow up with customers as well, which we'll talk about in next week's training. All right, so we now have a nice format, an agenda, if you will. We've got a plan for that home party. Let's talk about adding a summer twist. We've shared a couple of ideas throughout. I'll recap them for you. A great idea is pool party, and I mean make a list of people you know who have a personal swimming pool. This is a great conversation starter. You can do it cabana style. So many fun places that you can take this particular option, and it's just a great way to reach out and say, hey, you have a pool, don't you? Let me tell you about this really fun thing we're doing this summer. I shared previously destination themes. We talked about Paris, Orient Express, Tropical Escape. Expand your thinking a little bit. Where can you whisk people away to this summer that's reinforced through the product that you have to offer? You might also want to think about, a lot of people this time of year don't do a vacation, they do a staycation. You may want to think about creating a couple's staycation. What does that look like? What products could you offer? Is there a package that you could create, a kit, if you will, for a romantic weekend? This is a hot topic. And I think success always comes from looking at what people want and delivering that to them via our product, via our business. You know, divorce rates are through the ceiling, and most cite a loss of connection, a disconnection. So how can you help couples reconnect this summer? And finally, think about a pop-up. This is a short, quick turnaround, short duration, limited amount of product. It's a perfect answer to people who say, I'm too busy. I would also encourage you to ask about work. You never know until you ask. You don't know the answers to these questions, but we think that we do. So one of the keys to success in the summer months is figuring out where the people are. People are definitely at work. So ask. You never know. Let's talk a little bit about booking at the party. I'd love for you to walk away from every party you do with at least 2 more booked. I believe, again, that it's the most important component. Start with planting seeds throughout. You know, when we wait until the very end to say, do you want to book a party? The answer is no, because they haven't really thought about it yet. And when we wait until the very end, in their mind, they're already in the car. They're already on the way home. And so, of course, the answer is no, because they don't want to make another decision. They don't want to commit to anything else. So plant seeds throughout. We want to illustrate the rewards to them. And there's a couple of ways to do this. I really like Hostess Stack. People sometimes groan. It doesn't have to be pushy, and it doesn't have to be canned, and it doesn't have to be about that hostess. So I recommend for Hostess Stack, not that you're saying, here's what our hostess Susie is going to receive tonight. You say, here's what our hostesses receive on average. Here's how I spend my advertising budget. If I were running a brick and mortar business, I would be paying for Facebook ads, print ads, might be doing some television ads. Here's where we spend our hostess dollars at Athena's. And you just show an example. Here's a thank you gift. Here's on average, the average hostess walks away with, let's say, $75. And booking gifts, anything that a hostess receives, free shipping, you just want to give her a representation of that, not for her, but for everybody else in the audience who's watching. What I found personally when I was holding home parties, when I ran a field business, was that I booked the bulk of my home shows after most people had left, when it was just the host and their 3 or 4 friends hanging out, maybe having a glass of wine, and that host was picking their free product. When the friends saw how much stuff she got or he got, they would inevitably, somebody would say, you got how much for that? Oh my gosh, give me that calendar. I'll do one of these. So we need to move that piece to the middle where everybody's still there. That's why I like a host stack. There's other options. You can do a display where we just create a representation. Instead of laying it in the hostess's lap, we just have an example of it, which we can refer to. On average, here's what my normal host walks away with for, a very average party. They walk away with everything on that table. If you've got a group of friends who would enjoy this, super easy to book. Just pick a tentative date on the calendar. I'll take care of all the rest. And I do like a physical booking calendar. We gave you one in Webinar 2 and Bootcamp 2. I like that physical booking calendar. People are visual creatures. They need to be able to look at it. So set it out there with your hot dates on it. And I have also seen people do cards, 8.5 by 11 cards. Each one has an example of what a host receives. Getting up there and rambling off percentages, reading the grid to them, even putting the grid in their lap board. It's good to put the grid there, but it really doesn't communicate to people everything you receive when you get a group of friends together. So make sure that you're illustrating that in some way. Really highlight the host special for that current month if they have time to book, and they can book within 10 days. Particularly in the summer months, quick turnarounds actually work better than planning it out 3 or 4 weeks. We don't like to commit to 3 or 4 weeks down the road. We may want to go to the pool instead. And particularly in the summer months when we have to work a little bit harder for those bookings, I recommend a book and win game. I do a simple envelope game. There's maybe 12 envelopes. One has a grand prize. How grand? It depends on how badly you need bookings. Maybe it's a $25 gift certificate to your company, of course, or maybe it's a $50 gift certificate if your calendar is really, really light. And the other things in there are maybe $5, $3 to $7 items. They select a date off your calendar, one of your hot dates. They get an envelope. They write their name across the back of the envelope, which you keep until their party rolls around. So it's a bit of a mystery. I call this mystery booking envelope, but some kind of push to say yes now. If you don't book them on the spot, your odds of doing so are dramatically reduced once they walk out the door. So we want to get them while they're hot. Definitely get that date on the calendar. Anything else is just a promise. And you can spend months running those people down for the date. So be sure that they put that down on the calendar. You can use the word tentative. You can say that means it's not engraved in stone. If you get home and find it won't work, shoot me a quick email and let me know so that I can open that up for someone else. Always act as if you are in demand. Let's wait until the fall. That's an objection we get a lot this time of year. We may even start to get Christmas. Create a sense of urgency with the new product that just came out, sale items, which I know you have, any great guest specials that are running, and the summer themes that we've been speaking of as well. Reconnect them to a product that they want. It's a great idea to reconnect them to a product that's going out of stock because it really creates a sense of urgency. If they can't order everything that they want that evening, they need to get their own party in before that goes away. Also on our hit list of summer objections is everyone's on vacation, no one can attend, I'm going to have a low turnout. What they're really saying to you is, I am really, really scared that I'm going to have an empty living room. That is every host's deepest fear, is no one is going to show up and I'm going to be embarrassed sitting there with snacks and you and absolutely no one else. So we want to work them through this, show them how summer's a perfect time to get a group of friends together. I love the option of co-hosting. They, with a friend, host together. Everybody only needs a handful of guests. We won't have an empty living room. It'll be fun. It's way less pressure on that particular host. Leveraging social media, you can say to them, hey, I know it's a little bit of a busy time of year. The thing we're focusing on is smaller guest counts at our home parties, and I'm going to show you how to use social media to fill your living room. You can use verbiage like a mini party or a pop-up party, again, to illustrate that we're just talking about really a handful of people. This time of year, it's a more casual time of year, so smaller groups are great. We also want to focus our host on outside orders, saying things like, it really doesn't matter who physically attends. It's the outside orders that count. Again, we're going to leverage social media. I'm going to do a great tandem Facebook event for you that's going to really help with those outside orders. You're going to have a fantastic party and you're going to be so happy you did it now so you don't miss out on XYZ. We always come back around to how it serves them better to book now, not how it serves us better to book now. Even though it probably. Finally, topping our top excuses list, our objections, is money. Money is tight, we'll have low sales, everybody's saving for vacation, nobody has any money right now. I don't know who wrote that rule, by the way. I think parents probably have more money during the summer, even if we are going on a vacation, because we don't have all of the children's events that we have to pay for during the school months. So this goes back to what your expectation of the situation is. If you're bought in to everybody's broke over the summer, you're going to have a hard time booking over the summer because you believe that. So when they serve it up to you, you go, oh, okay, yep, everybody's broke this summer, so never mind. Again, getting exactly what we expect. But when we debunk that in our own minds, and when we are prepared for the objection and we are armed with workaround solutions to help them see how it'll really be fine, we're going to have a great time, and again, that it's in their best interest to go ahead and do it now, we end up with bookings. So money's tight. We definitely can talk to them about great guest specials and clearance items. You all have a lot of things that are on clearance. Everybody loves a bargain, so make sure that you're working those in there to give people a great buy. Reinforce that for a host who has this as a concern. There's some great pricing in there. Focus on lower cost items too. Going back to when I talked about not overwhelming them with too many options and what you put on your table, think about that. Stocking that table with some of the lower priced items in your catalog may help this host see they don't have to break the bank to attend something like this and make a purchase. I would also really focus on bookings. What you do over the summer and the people that you get in front of are going to determine how successful your fall is. So you can't afford to come to a standstill this time of year. So I would look at how the company rewards bookings and maybe pump that up a little bit if you need to encourage these hosts to go ahead and have a home party now, and they'll be rewarded for bookings and rewarded for sales so that you continue to get in front of people. So just give some thought to that as well. And again, we're leveraging social media, showing her how to leverage social media and helping her or him do so to encourage sales and to ensure that that there's a decent amount of sales, that they are well rewarded under the host program. All a potential host or hostess needs from you is really encouragement and reassurance that it's going to be okay. So that's it. 5 steps to sizzling summer shows. Be sure you're following that agenda and offering every guest the host opportunity and the business opportunity to keep things moving. Be sure you've got your head in the right place and you're prepared for objections. You're ready to answer those and show them a workaround. Show them how summer is the perfect time to get a few friends together. What you do today will show up in your business in 90 days. It's going to make a huge impact on the already lucrative fall selling and sponsoring season. See you next time.
Thanks, Michelle. So, warriors, what is your summer mindset? Are you going to hold beliefs that are prosperity-driven and empowering? Or are you going to let your beliefs about running your business in the summer allow you to let your business unravel over the next few months? It is my sincerest hope that you will choose to keep your business momentum going and keep the cash and the bookings flowing. You can become part of the summer fun and a focal point at pool parties, campground parties, and garden parties. It's all up to you. Well, it's now time for me to give everyone on this call a chance to win an item from the new line, and this ain't just any old item. This is a womanizer. You could use this womanizer as a summer booking incentive, add it to your demo, or keep it for yourself, which I highly recommend if you don't already have one. So fill out the Google Doc survey that was included in the email that contained this link to this webinar. Share your aha moment with us. I want to know what you liked about this webinar. You can find the Google Doc survey in the email, again, that contains the webinar, and I also post it in the WOW group for your easy reference. So click on the link, fill it out completely. This will be how we know that you were here and that you participated in the WOW program so that it goes towards your spoils of war. If you send your aha moment in by midnight tonight, Warrior Wednesday, you will get entered to win that free womanizer. If you're listening after Wednesday, that's fine. We give you a grace period. You have until 11:59 on Friday, June 24th to complete and submit your Google Doc survey. You just won't get entered to win the free womanizer. But you will get credit for calling in towards your spoils of war. So now here's the code word that you've been waiting so patiently for, and it's inspiration. 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 And I hope that you're inspired to keep that money rolling in so that you can afford to have tons of fun this summer with your family. So thanks so much to Michelle And thank you for tuning in. Michelle will be back next Wednesday, June 29th, for her final Warriors of Wealth call. And until then, Goddesses, Adoni, I hope you experience lots of prosperity and changing lives as you do your parties and run your business. So we'll see you soon, and I look forward to reading about your successes in the WOW